Dr. Shefali Shastri, Reproductive Medicine Associates of New Jersey. I was born and brought up in New Jersey. I actually grew up in Edison, New Jersey. My family still lives there, and I actually stayed pretty local for the first, half of my life. I went to college at Rutgers, and then I went to medical school at Robert Wood Johnson. And then I decided to go get a little further out, and I went to Manhattan for my residency and fellowship, and I came back home. I went to Rutgers, although while I was at school, the teams weren't all that great, but they have a great basketball team, pretty good football team. Growing up, I wasn't a big sports fan, but my husband is from Pittsburgh, so we are definitely all Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and I think he wouldn't have it any other way. We have a black and gold room in our house. We've gone to Pittsburgh a number of times for games. The number one thing I like to do is spend time with my little guys, whether it's riding bikes or playing soccer with them or, things like that. I'll often, I love to run. And so to try to kind of be efficient with my time, I'll often, take my little guy out in my running stroller, go running with him, and that way we're spending quality time. My favorite book is probably, I have a couple favorite books. My favorite book is probably Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. It's a very inspiring book. It's an autobiography. It talks a lot about human character and perseverance, and it's historical. I learned a lot about South Africa and apartheid, and really talks a lot about the human condition. And so that was probably one of my top 5 books. I think that I was very lucky growing up. Both my parents were physicians. My mom is actually an OBGYN, and she trained in the 70s when obstetrics was really a male-dominated field. She was one of the few females that went to OBGYN at the time. Really, I think my mom is really my inspiration. I think she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known. I have 3 little boys, and especially after becoming a mother and becoming a parent, I understand that innate desire to start a family, to complete your family, and to be a parent. I think it definitely allows me to be more compassionate or empathetic with couples who are trying to start their family or complete their family. Ultimately, what everyone wants to know when they come here, they bring their information. I go through their history with them. I go through their experiences that they've had so far, and really, what everyone wants to know is this going to be successful? Are we going to have children? Are we going to be able to have children? And that's what it comes down to, whether they ask it like that or not. That's really what they're here for, And, it's important for me to tell every patient that I see, I want them to know that there is definitely, we're going to help them start their family one way or the other. There are options available. This is very different than it was 20 years ago. In some fields of medicine, things may be pretty stagnant. IVF, it's very different. Infertility treatment has changed significantly from the 80s till now. And so if you want to start a family, we definitely have the means to help you. Every patient may take a different route, but we'll get there. Well, I've had a lot of patients that have touched me and that I remember very frequently and very fondly. I live close to a few of our offices, and so I definitely see patients, whether it's at Trader Joe's or the YMCA or, out at a street fair, or even some of the classes that I take my kids to. It's nice. It's nice to be part of the community. It's nice to see our patients. But as long as my kids are behaving, I'm really happy to see patients and especially to, see their babies and see their family. It's pretty exciting. We see miracles happen. We see things happen that we never would have expected. And I think it's, I try to share some of those stories with my patients, but I want them to know, all along their journey, I want them to know that there's a game plan, there's a master plan. There's always a backup. If this doesn't work out, there's always something else we can go to. We may not always get to the next step because you might conceive easily, or you might conceive at stage A versus going on to stage B, but there's options available. And really, once you seek our services, our goal is to help you start your family or complete your family. There's many ways to do that.